Good morning, y'all. It's me. You can hear my critters. They sometimes do that for a minute or two when I first go outside. And it's okay unless he was sitting in the house and he gets irritated with them. But it's pretty funny. They don't like for me to leave. But it's going to show you a few things. You can see I put, hush guys, hush. Mimi, get down. She's the only one that's tall enough to see over that screen. But I put film on the bottom half of the window so that they couldn't see Corey and Aaron and the pups when they're out here. Because they're boogers. And they bark at everything. So if they can see Corey's little doggies or Copper, they just tend to think that they need to bark at them. All right, today I'm going over to water my tomatoes, but I'm not going to make you guys endure that. I just thought I'd, chat with you for a few moments. And I think that Nala and I will be going up to the graveyard this weekend to take a nice walk. And so we'll have a longer chat then. This is Memorial Weekend almost, and it's a hard weekend for lots of Americans, for lots and lots of us. So to those of you who love a veteran, give them a special hug this weekend. Tell them life is good. Stay with us. And let's just walk this journey together. But I'm not going to get on that today. What I want to do is talk to you about a personal point of irritation. Today I just got a phone call from our hospital at Hughes Surgery, his neck surgery that he had in December. Everything is finished up and the final accounting came in. I got the bill last week and I sent a payment. And so they were calling to see if I wanted to set up a payment to cover the remaining balance. And I told them no, that I'll be paying the remaining balance within the next 2 months, so I don't think I need a payment plan. But here's the situation. When I got the bill last week, yes, I'm old enough that I tend to read the line items because I just want to see how they actually came to a total of $51,000 for that bill. He was in there 2 days, and medical expenses are exorbitant. I don't understand how they get to those numbers, but I guess I don't understand a lot of things. I'm sure that there's some tremendous cost involved in their insurance end of things. Lots of things that they do have to charge for. However, this is the situation, girls. There was several $100s charged for physical therapy, and there were several hundreds of dollars charged for speech therapy. He didn't have either one. So I told the hospital, the person I spoke with in the billing department, I said, I would like to see a detailed accounting of all of these numbers that you've came to, especially on those two things, those two lines. How was it that you came to charge us and our insurance company for things he didn't receive? And I told her, I said, you know that this is fraud, and this hurts all of us as consumers, including you. And she said, yes, ma'am, I'll make certain that I send that out to you. And I said, within 7 to 10 business days, correct? And she said, yes, ma'am. You'll receive an accounting within 7 to 10 business days. So I'm going to pursue it. What do you guys think? I know that it's probably a waste of time, that it will probably come to nothing. But this particular hospital has charged for things they had no reason to charge for in years past. I mean, Hugh and I were both born at Haywood County Hospital, so our families has had dealings with that hospital for many, many years. We've never left a bill unpaid. However, about 15 years ago, I told you about the situation where I had fallen and broken my elbow and broken 2 of my fingers, just, acting silly during a polling day when I was working the polls. But what I didn't tell you is that when I went to the hospital that evening, when I received the bill, the emergency room bill was okay. It was something what I expected. But I received a bill from the emergency room doctor separate, and it was for $1,800 and $1,857. I can't remember. I used to remember the exact number because it was so appalling. But what was so strange about that is that he was, he talked to the radiologist, and they discussed the x-ray, but then he walked into the room, and he was in my room for 2 minutes, and he said he was trying to write a prescription for pain reliever, and I told him, I said, that's fine, I don't need that. And he said, oh, yes, you will need this. And I said, thank you, but I won't take it. And he kept insisting, and Hugh finally said, Doc, you're wasting your time. She won't take it, because I don't take pain meds. And the reason for that is because they knock me completely off my feet, have a super sensitive, my daddy did too, had super sensitive effect on me. And so the doctor finally listened, and he said, well, okay, if you need anything, he said, do at least take ibuprofen for the swelling, and if you need anything, take Tylenol for the pain. And so he left. He was in my room for 2 minutes, yet he charged $1,857. I fought that. I talked to the administrator of the hospital 3 times. He called me, actually, and because I told him, I said, this is fraudulent charges. And it wasn't, it was a emergency room physicians organization that the hospital hired as a separate entity. And I told him, I said, well, that's neither here nor there. That's your problem. And I paid my hospital bill, but I refused to pay that emergency room doctor. So it was finally, the hospital administrator called me in October. That was in June, I think, when it happened. But he called me in October, and he said, Mrs. Best, he said, you can disregard, he said, you will not be paying for that physician's visit. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And I hope you all take care of this so that they don't do this to anyone else. Because I think that a lot of people just ignore their bills. They don't read that. And the reason I did that particular time is because we didn't have insurance. So when you don't have insurance, you tend to kind of pay attention to what's being charged. We do have insurance now, but still, I guess it's just an old habit now. I just kind of glanced down through there, and when those 2 charges showed up, it really was irritating. So I will pursue it, just because this can't continue. Medical bills are far too expensive, and when a hospital system or anyone is allowed to charge for services that they did not give someone, it is fraud, and they should be held to account for it. And there's people out there that don't have insurance to cover these things, so I'm not just going to ignore it. But anyway, that's my rant for this morning. Now let's talk about gardening for just a minute. I don't know if that was encouraging or discouraging, and I apologize, girls. All right, let me just show you a few things. I haven't been down here to clean it out, but I'm getting ready to plant. I've got several trays setting out, and I'll show you in just a moment, that have been going outside to harden off for the last few days, and so they'll be going in the garden tomorrow. we're expecting lots of rain this weekend, or hopefully lots of rain this weekend. But yeah, I guess it's at some point I've got to start harvesting this and see what we've got. The onions, of course, can stay here until they actually start dropping over. But my little beets, I think there's probably some in there ready to eat. And the asparagus down there, of course, we don't have to do anything with them this year. And the peas, yeah, there's some peas in there ready to eat. And the lettuce, just a little tiny patch of lettuce over there ready. The celery, I have to just wait on them. The carrots, it'll be a while before they'll be ready to pull out of there. And these flowers, they just need to hurry up. I want to see them bloom. The dill. And then here's some more flowers. Everything kind of really got a strange start this year. So I'm hoping that they will grow up and bloom for me. Some more flowers. Some little flowers over here. I can't remember the name of anything this morning. This evening we're having grilled chicken and a salad, and I'll probably use some of the spinach and also some of the lettuce over there. This morning I'm down here to water. The other day when I set these out, and of course there's sunflowers. Over there's the cabbage. And then these 2 rows are tomatoes. And they're alive. That's about all I can say for them. They're looking a little bit puny. But when I set them out, the next day it was extraordinarily windy. It was so windy that it actually snapped some of them. Some of the little stems were still just too tender to be out here. And I was trying to be hopeful, and I came down here and I propped them up. I'm thinking, okay, well, if there's any juice still happening in this stem, maybe it will, toughen it up and let them stand up. But I wanted to show you these plants. This one right here, if you can see him, see how dark he is? That's actually a tomato it's a black tomato, and I can't wait to show the tomato itself to you guys. I've just got several in here. But they're beautiful, beautiful tomatoes. So you can see it as opposed to that color. That one's real dark. But anyway, some of these tomatoes I planted not because they're really necessarily good eaters, but just because they're beautiful. And those three are just because they're beautiful. But anyway, all right. You can see I have my earthing shoes on. I'm walking around my garden with my earthing shoes on. I've got a row right here that will probably hold a lot of what I'm going to put out tomorrow. And then the rest of that row over there. And then the bottom of the row over there where the sunflowers are at. And I'm slinging you around too fast. But let's walk back around. I want to show you the guineas are out. Their little house is open. And one of them, the boy's going to have to put me a gate right here, because otherwise I have to walk all the way around the house when I need to get to the other side. One of them has a little damaged leg, and I'm thinking that happened because every time you would open their pen up to give them food or water, they're so skittish that they would jump and slam themselves into the side of the cage or their little coop, trying to get out. And it's so pitiful. I try to real quietly open their coop up so that they didn't really pay attention to me, but of course that didn't help. He's got the loader lifted. He's replacing a hose or something. Always. There's always a hose that has to be replaced on these machines. And they can get pricey. It's crazy. But anyway, that's the price of doing this type of work. But that crazy sound that the guineas make, I've been listening to them this morning. They're adding to the incredible variety of sounds on this little farm, and I love it. We were at Riverbend the other day. Hugh and I pick up some all flock food, and they had some turkey babies. Yes, it was tempting, except you had to take 10. And I said, no, I don't want 10 turkeys because we won't eat them. So I just left them with them. At some point we may end up taking a turkey, getting a turkey. Look over there. We've got to finish closing off that fence all the way down to the corner so that Aaron's dogs and these dogs can't fight through the fence. Poor little Panda had her lip bitten the other day. It didn't require a vet's visit, but it wasn't a good thing. And I just don't know why they have to fuss at each other. Hey, darling. Hey, darlings. Hi, darlings. And here come the geese. I'm sorry. Yes, everything's noisy. But as you can see, the fence is taken around, or off, from around the little Keets house. And now they can come and go as they please during the day. And here come the noisy ones. I know, I see you. Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys be quiet? Can you guys be quiet? No, don't pick at me. Don't pick at me. Good darlings. Good darlings, I know. You're so adorable. You're so adorable. I know. Hi, sweet ones. Hi, sweet ones, I know. Say good morning. Say good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I know. Hello. Hello, darlings. Now, see, my little boys come over, and they like to be petted, but they still have an instinct that they also want to peck at you, so I have to be careful. But they're the ones with the high-pitched sound, and the girls are the ones with the low-pitched sound. They're funny. Okay, they're going to go on. I guess girls, you'll just have to turn your sound down on whenever you see the ducks or the geese coming. Just turn your sound down. All right. And here's the little temporary chicken house with a little fence around it. Keep them safe. Hi, darlings. Let me see if I can open it up and show you inside. I'll show you Chuck. All right, the colorful one going out the door, that's Chuck. He's the one. Uh-oh. Now I've got to lift my ketchup. He's the one that our duck mama hatched. See him? And he is definitely a rooster. See that big old comb? And he crowed the other day. Oh my goodness. It was the cutest little squeaky crow you've ever heard. Chelsea was holding him. She comes up and visits him because he's going to live at her house. He and 3 of these little girls are going to go live at her house. And we're in the process of building them a little coop outside. But she's just very attached to Chuck. She named him Charles Richard because he's a chicken duck. So it's Chuck for short. Oh, gracious. They're sweet. All right. Of course, over there's Ferdinand wandering around. What you doing, Ferdy? Silly. Let's go look at the babies. You won't believe how big these ducks are. They are ginormous. And this mama has actually kept 11 of the 12 ducks alive. I've never raised this last year's the first time I've had any dealings with ducks or geese. But Aaron said that's a pretty stellar number for a mama to be able to raise and keep protected and alive. But do you see them over there? I don't want to scare them. But look at them in relation to their mama. They are really, really big. And here comes my boy. Hi, darling. This one has the googly neck. And he is super friendly. He just loves to be petted. But he will also snap at me a little bit. I think he's also wanting to be a movie star. You want to be on TV? Huh? Are you wanting to be on TV? Are you wanting to be on TV? Alright, let's go see if we can see the keets. Now I'm going to walk by here real quietly and show you guys the inside of the goose house. Well, he's walking with me. He's decided that he's just going to hang out, I guess. Check this out, girls. See her all stretched out in there on them? And look at the gazillions of eggs they've laid. Now, she won't move. She lays deathly still. And actually, it looks as though, when you first see her, it looks as though there's something wrong. There's not. Those crazy little critters just lay super still. And I still haven't eyed the keets. So I'm wondering where they've hidden. I'm sure they found them a spot in some tall grass. But this chicken yard is almost completely closed in now. And you can see, I mean, it goes up behind that old sawmill shed, and over there behind the sawmill, and around that fence, and to the front of the barn, and around that fence, and around the pond, and over to that fence. So it's actually a large location. I think we can call them free range. It's as free range as they're getting because they're staying off my front porch and out of my garden. But I wonder where Isabel's at. Actually, I think I see her over here roosting on the compost ledge. I'm not sure. Well, she's around here somewhere. But I sure would like to catch sight of those silly little guineas. You can see the chickens love the Jeep. They hang out over here underneath the Jeep, underneath anything they can get underneath. Hugh has had to start. Yes, 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 I know. There's my googly neck. He really is so adorable. And we've got another, let me see, there's just 6. So we've got another mama on a nest somewhere. And there's Ferdinand. Look at that beautiful baby. You are so pretty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But Hugh and Chelsea find eggs everywhere now. They are literally everywhere. Right now there's some over in the compost bin that we've got to take the front of the compost off, because the back has chicken wire to keep them from getting back in the yard that direction. Well, run, 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 run. Well, girls, I don't know where my little guinea keets are at. And of course, the truck's going to be taken off pretty soon. Hugh's still taking a few parts off of it that he wants for my Jeep. And then the rest of all that tin and stuff right there will be strapped down on top of this. And this whole mess will be cleaned up. That will be lovely. And we'll be going to the junkyard. And then the pond will be widened. The pond will be pulled back this direction. At least half the size of it now. It will be enlarged that much more. And it will be deepened. So that should help keep it a little bit cleaner. We're going to put plants in it. Water lilies and things of that nature, which are supposed to help keep it clean. And at some point, we may get some koi or something. I'll have to get a pretty good size so the ducks won't eat them. Or some kind of an algae eater fish, maybe a catfish. There comes Googly Neck again. This guy just loves to be petted, and he just can't help himself. If I'm outside, he wants to come over and say hi. And the way that you know a duck is, or a goose is in attack mode, is if they come towards you with their neck stretched out. And he doesn't. So I know that he's being gentle and sweet. He's just coming over to say hi. I love my geese. I'm the only one that loves my geese. But anyway, the keets are definitely hidden somewhere. I just hope. Last night, Hugh and I had to catch them and put them back in their house. They were over beside their little house, but we had to catch them and put them in there. And I didn't like that one bit. They didn't like it either. But hopefully they'll be close by this evening so that we can catch them and put them back inside. And I mean, their water and food is in there, so I think that will call them. But keets just aren't real bright. I hate to say it, but they're not the smartest barnyard bird we have. But that's okay. They're funny. I like funny. You guys need some food? I guess I need to bring you some food. Yep. All right. Looks like they're all out. And look at them. They're so sweet. Just picking at the grass. That's as free range as they can get until they get big enough to defend themselves a little bit. But you can see they're netted over the top too. So no flying predator can decide to take one away. All right, girls. Hopefully I can walk around and hear those little keets somewhere making noise. There goes kitty cat. And I love you much. Thanks for putting up with my rant this morning. And I hope to talk with you real soon. Love you guys. Bye-bye.